So, when my friend was driving the car so slow, I told him, let us play this game. Tell the age of this driver who has driven the car. He said, Swamiji, you are so peculiar. How can anybody tell? I said, I am not going to question you. Tell anything. He said, no, I can't tell. He said, you tell. I said, yes, I can tell. I told. He said, how do you know? I said, if you don't believe, ask him. Either you believe or ask him. Then the second car went. Again I told something. He said, how do you conclude this? I said, there is one mathematical rule. The speed of the car is inversely proportionate to the age of the driver. When an oldie is driving the car, he will go very slow. He will have all the patience of the world because there are no reflexes available. Zero reflexes. So, the age is determined by the action, number one. Number two, I was in a university, and in that university campus, BITS Pilani, there was a school also. So they invited me for a talk. And the students were 10th, 11th, 12th standard, going to go for their higher education, etc. So when I was talking to them, naturally I won't talk to them Brahman and death and all that. So depending upon the audience, the talks are given. So I spoke to them about ambition, achievement, success, determination, hard work, competition. And after that was over, then I said, now questions are invited only from the students because I was addressing the students and none else. And yet 180 not out or 75 not out got up. Because the group was heterogeneous, he got up and he said, Swamiji, I got a question. I said, keep quiet. I am not going to answer your question even if you ask. He became very angry. This is another principle. Longer the past you are, stronger is the ego. Stronger the ego, easily you get hurt. See? Kids don't get hurt. Old people get hurt even if nothing happens. See? So that oldie got very angry and walked out. So I finished my talk. Thereafter I went to the principal's room. We had a tea, coffee and all that. So I said, sir, please call that teacher. He was very angry with me. I'll extend profuse apologies to him. He came. I said, sir, I'm so sorry I didn't answer your question because it was a wrong question in a wrong place. He was already furious. How do you know what was my question? You insulted me before everybody. I said, sir, your question was, what happens after death? How do you know? That was my question. I said, from your face, you are not living. You are waiting to die. See, friends, if you want to ask how to live. If you can live happily, you have fulfilled your mission. Die anyway we are going to. So when you are asking me this question of what happens after death, are you suggesting, Swamiji, please go and let us know? Think, friends. There is one topic which comes in Mahabharata. This topic comes in under the name Sanat Sujatiya. There the king is blind, Dhritarashtra, and his secretary Vidur. Vidurji gives him instructions, Upadesh. That is called as Vidur Niti, how to live in this world. Very beautiful text. After that was told, this blind king asked, is there something which I don't know and you know? The king, arrogance. So he said, yes, there is one thing you probably don't know. What is that? There is no death. And an old king gets totally shattered. There is no death? He said, no, there is no death. He said, my God, I have been thinking that there is death. He said, no. He said, where did you learn from? He said, I learned it from my guru. Why don't you teach me? Here is another very important principle. Why didn't you teach me? He said, look here. Every one of us have got the right to learn and know. But everyone doesn't have the right to teach others. This is what is one of the biggest problem in life. See, friends, we are expert in teaching others. If you are Indian, then you are super expert. See? Every Indian is wise in somebody else's job. Every Indian can make decision for anybody. They can give suggestion even to God. दुनिया बनाने वाले काहे को दुनिया बनाई. See, friends. So he says, I am not authorized to teach you. I know, but I cannot teach you. Because for teaching you require authority. He said, then what shall I do? He said, I will call my guru and he will tell us. So he sits quiet in his prayer and by his yoga shakti he invokes his Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj comes and he is Sanat Kumarji. And then this question is posed to Sanat Kumarji. Sir, what happens after death was my question. But your disciple Vidur told there is nothing like death. So what is this riddle? Please tell me. So the teacher says, look here. Has anybody ever experienced death? Nobody has experienced. Swamiji, you have not read one book, very hot book. It is written by Anita Murjani. Have you read this book? No? Go to YouTube and read. She was a cancer patient and she was in coma for some time and they almost declared she is almost dead, gone. And then she again came back and then naturally write the book and she wrote. So when somebody told me about this, that she near death experience, they call it, NDE, near death experience. That was her first book. The second book came this thing. So after death, what happened? See, friends, be attentive. When we say after death, what happened? That means that person was there, na? So who died? See, friends, this principle of death has some purpose to be conveyed. It is something like, subtle points cannot be told like in the material sciences objectively. It has to be learned without being taught. Like a child born, the child is never taught how to suck the mummy. It is not taught. It is inherent in the child. The child doesn't have to be told, take anything and put in the mouth. He will never put it in the ear. No, he will only mouth. Maybe his target doesn't go sometime here, but he knows somewhere here. This knowledge is such which has to be learned without being taught. And therefore in our scriptures, everywhere anything is explained through some stories, some parables. Once we had a retreat in a Good Shepherd's Retreat Center in Johannesburg. And we were about 50-60 of us. And inmates of that retreat center, I told them that if any one of you want to come and attend, it is free. You don't have to pay for that. So some of them came, and there was one person who was a, floating population kind. He came for something for 2-3 days. And he also came and attended. Evening we used to go for walks in the hills for about an hour or two. He will also come. And he'll keep on asking such irritating questions. And every question of his, I was answering through story. Any question he asked, one story. After the third day, he hugged me. Earlier he was arrogant like that. He hugged me. He said, "You are my Jesus." I said, "Don't crucify me. I prefer not to be Jesus." He said, "No, not that way." Then he told, in that Sermon of the Mountain, everything he has taught through the parables, and every question of mine you have answered only through the stories and parables. Why you people do like this? That was the question. And the question is, it is not 1 + 1 is equal to 1. You know this equation? 1 + 1 is equal to 1. One couple, after 15 years I met them, and they told, "Swami, we are constantly fighting, please tell what should we do." I said, "If you have remembered what advice I gave you, I came for your marriage, and I told you that 1 + 1 is equal to 1. It is not 2, it is not 11. He said, "Swami, that is the thing which is creating problem in our life." Now what is the problem? Which one? Whether me or she. See, friends, it is not a straight answer to a straight question. You have to discover the answer. See, friends, it can't be told it is like this. Because what we know, all we know is through the sense organs. Only 5 objects. We don't know the 6th object. Then all that we experience is through the mind, joys and sorrows. All experiences happen only in the mind. No experience happens to the body. Every experience, good or bad, happens only in the mind. And all concepts are understood by us, by the intellect. These are the only 3 gateways of knowledge for us. And the truth is beyond this. Therefore, you see in the scriptures, they talk about always the language of negation. Ashabdam asparasham arupam avyayam. It is without form, without touch, without color, without smell, without taste, neither joy nor sorrow, neither long nor short, neither here nor there. See, this is all what we know. So that which is beyond the scope of our obvious knowledge, how can you teach that? See, friends. Therefore, the stories are told. See, one of the story you all must be knowing, it comes in Mahabharata about the Satyavan and Savitri. You know that story? Savitri is the Pativrata. This is story of Satya Yoga, okay? Don't worry. But it is true also. So, this Savitri is a great devoted wife to her husband, and one day the husband dies. So this wife doesn't give up. She fights with Yamaraj, argument, logic. And before any woman, even God cannot win the logic and argument. Bhagwan, death was defeated. He said, "Amma, take him." I accept my defeat. Now the moral of the story. Moral of the story is that if one is pativrata, she has got tremendous power that she can defeat even death. Moral of the story. But if you ask me the moral of the same story, it will be different. I will say, you can be saved from death, but not from the wife. Moral of the story. See, friends, these stories are told in our scriptures for us to learn something. You discover. And whenever you discover something, you never forget it. See, friends, I'll tell you my experience. I am not either any computer scientist or anything. All I learn by trial and error method. So one day, I was doing something on my laptop, and I pressed, that switch for the trash can to empty it. Click it, it opens and delete. So when I pressed it, somebody asked me something, so my finger remained there. Then option came. Not only open, the second option was empty the trash. And I did it. From then onwards, I do like that. The other day, I was in Cupertino, which is the headquarters of Apple Computers. When I was doing, my friend said, Swamiji, what did you do? I said, he said, where from you learnt it? I said, why? He said, I am in this computer for the last 20 years. This particular shortcut I didn't know. I said, I also don't know. I learned it by mistake. Anything you learn, anything you discover, you will never forget it. It is for this purpose things are told in our scriptures through parables, and then learn from that. See? Now, what are the principles told in our scriptures? The principles are, first is, do your karma. Now, why this is told? Because by default, we carry three viruses in our system. The three viruses are Alasya, Nidra, Pramad. Alasya is laziness. See? Laziness is आज करे सो कल कर, कल करे सो परसों, परसों भी क्या करना, जीना है अब बरसों. Procrastination. See? This is one enemy. The second enemy is Nidra, sleep. Somebody from USA only the other day came to Bombay and met me. He said, Swamiji, you know our life in USA is so full of stress and all that. I don't get sleep and all that. What should I do? And he said, don't tell me about Gita. I said, listen, I am not telling you about Gita. You go and take my MP3, any MP3 you like, or take random MP3, play it. When you are lying on the bed, you play it. And then tell me tomorrow. Next day he says, Swamiji, I had such a good sleep. I said, yes, I know. Some people listen me to awaken. Most of the people listen me to sleep. He said, your sound, your voice is so anesthetic that while listening, I went to sleep. So the second enemy that we have is the sleep. And some people are so expert, like Arjuna was called as Gudakesha. Arjuna, one of the name was Gudakesha. Gudakayaha Ishaha Gudakeshaha. Gudakesha means he who has conquered, or he who is a master of sleep. Come on there, I am also master of sleep. I can sleep anytime. That is not the meaning. He could wake up any time. Oh, that is difficult. See? So the second enemy is sleep. Many people have got this problem when they sit for meditation. See? And these people ask us question about meditation. Hamini, why some people when they sit for meditation in our ashram, people come and they sit for meditation and they do like this. What is this? Is it Kundalini? I said no. It is called as Jhatka meditation. He is only sleep, nothing else. See, friends. So, first enemy is laziness, second enemy is sleep, and third enemy is pramad. Sanat Kumarji tells, pramadam vai mrityur bravimi. First, let us understand what is death. According to Sanat Kumarji, pramad is death. So, for that we must know what is the meaning of pramad. So, to explain it in simple words, pramad means our efficiency to repeat the same mistake again and again more efficiently. That is pramad. See, the same thing we do again and again, again and again. Now, what is that we have been doing the same thing again and again in our life? If we can conquer this enemy called as pramad, we have conquered death. Then this question will become redundant. After death, what? See, friends, we are here to live, not to live. Live cheerfully, happily. Why talk of death? Nobody has experienced death till date. Death is an illusion. See, friends. So what is pramad? How this can be conquered? So, we repeat the same mistake again and again. Real spiritual practice is when we start learning from every experience of our life. With that technique, with every additional experience, if we learn, we will grow wise. If we do not learn from our experiences, we grow old and otherwise. See, friends. Now, why we don't learn? Pramad. Now, see what is we have been doing throughout our life. If we have to talk about our life, what we have done right from childhood till date, unsuccessful effort to fulfill our desires. Right from childhood, what we are doing? See, one NRI parent came from India, and that small child, he was playing that video game on his, that thing. So that old lady, grandmother, she said, the whole day you are sitting inside the house, go and play outside. What is this you are doing here? So he looked at the grandmother. Okay. He went with that, sat outside and started playing. One new game we buy, we play for some time with it, throw it, get another game. We play with it for some time, we throw it, get another game. Are we not doing this in our life? Continuous, only one project in life. I had to get this, I had to get this, I had to get this. It never ends. And we have not discovered the basic principle of life. The basic principle is fulfillment of desires is not equal to fulfillment in life. Bhagwan Sri Krishna says, Etad buddhva buddhiman syat krutakrutyascha bharata. Having known this, pramadam vai mrityur bravimi. Having known this, krutakrutyascha bharata, you will attain fulfillment in your life. What we have been doing and struggling throughout life is only try to fulfill the desires. See? So, karma we do for what? For fulfilling our desires. Then, devotion we practice for fulfilling our desires. See? Last time I told you, by God's grace you must have forgotten. We go to the temple, and after going to the temple, what are our prayers? Oh Lord, Bhagavan says, yes dear, you have got infinite energy and power, but you have no desire. God says, yes, I know, I am Apta Kam. Oh Lord, yes, I have got infinite desires, but no power, no energy. Bhagavan says, that also I know. Now my suggestion is, why not we sign an MOU? Let us invest your infinite power and energy and my infinite desires. Let us contribute so that your energy is utilized, my desires are fulfilled, and we call ourselves to be devotee. See? Indirectly we tell God. See? Like you must be doing when you go, suppose, out of your house for 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks to India. There you keep one Hanumanji outside, Ganeshji outside. Hanumanji, ghar ka dhyan rakhna. And Hanuman is standing there with the gada in his hand. Jaldi aa jao. So instead of this world and our life becoming the means and realization of the God as the goal, we do the other way around. We make that poor God as the means, and his worldly desires is the goal of our life. See, friends, there was one devotee, and he was a social worker devotee. So what he did a lot of japa and all that very sincerely. Narayana came directly with his Vaikuntha helicopter. And Bhagavan said, Bhagatji, get in. I am happy with your devotion. Let's go to Vaikuntha. I don't want to see your credentials. I know everything. I implanted a chip in you. I can see from here only. So, devotee says, I don't want to come alone. I want everybody to be benefited. Everybody should go to the heavens and the Vaikuntha. Bhagavan smiled. He said, don't worry, you come. He said, no way. He said, all right. Then he goes to first a sannyasi like us. We are tailor-made sannyasi. I was in China, and there I become a big hit among the gents because of the beard, among the ladies because of my wooden shoes. So the gents' language problem is there. So they simply show and because they have got one hair, So through somebody he asked me a question. Since when you are growing this beard? I said, since childhood. Oh, he didn't understand the joke. That is the time I feel most miserable, when my joke goes flat. So, he went to a Babaji, a sannyasi, and he said, Sannyasi Maharaj, there is a free offer. Go to Vaikuntha directly. Come. Sannyasi, supposed to be dispassionate. supposed to have given up everything. He said, no way, I am constructing a God's temple. I have to fix the marble there. That Kota stone is coming and that Egyptian or that Italian marble is coming. I can't come now. I have to complete this. God has come, but he is busy with the bathroom in the temple. Poor Bhagatji gets disgusted. Then he goes to the Vanaprasthi. Vanaprasthi means retired person. Retired means who is really unwanted. Therefore, even the government is really tired of him. Retired. So he goes to a retired person. In India, they call it as VRS. VRS means Voluntary Retirement Scheme. It is actually abbreviation of the word virus. Now he went to this VRS people and said, come, there is a free offer. He said, forget about it. Now only my grandchild is born. Unless he gets married, how can I live earlier than that? See? Then he goes to a Grahastha. Grahastha ji, come. He said, पागल कुत्ते ने काटा है क्या? I am not going to go. अभी तो शादी हुई है. Just now I am married. I had to go through all the tortures. I'll see you later. Then he goes to a student brahmachari. Brahmachari says, no, I had to study Sanskrit, I had to study Gita, I had to study Bhagavad, I had to study Ramayana, I had to give lectures. Narayana is standing there. Finally, this devotee got disgusted. Nobody wants God. Everybody wants desires of this world. So out of disgust, he goes to a pig and tells Mr. Swami, this is offer. Will you please come? He said, excuse me, I'll go and ask my missus. This is universal phenomena. So he goes to his wife and asks. So she says, what is that, Vaikuntha? Ask that fellow, do we get our food there? See, and when the devotee comes back, then Bhagavan says, my dear, this world is kept alive only by introduction of the virus called as desires. Desires can never be fulfilled. You have to rise above the desires. And this we have to learn. How many desires we have fulfilled in life? Have we discovered fulfillment? The reason? Pramad. We refuse to learn from our own experiences. Don't go in search for a guru outside. See? Don't go. One person wrote me when I was in India, Swamiji, I am coming to India only for 2 weeks. And I heard a lot that Binu Guru Jnana kahan se paave. So I want to get one Guru. Can you advise me where they are available? I said, you go to Haridwar, Rishikesh, there are many Guru malls. And then you can select one according to your money that you have. You get various grades. Friends, our own experience is our real Guru. See, no Guru will ever teach a student. In Kaivalya Upanishad, right in the beginning, the mantra comes. There the disciple is not ordinary, he is Ashvalaya, one of the great rishis from Rigveda. And the Guru is also not ordinary, he is Brahmaji himself. The Upanishad begins, Athashvalayano Bhagavantam Parameshtinam Upasametyo Vacha Adhihi Bhagavan Brahma Vidyam Varishtham Sada Sadbihi Sevyamanam Nigudham Yayachira Sarva Papam Vyapoya Parat Param Purusham Yati Divyam. Hey Bhagavan, hey Guru Maharaj, kindly teach me Brahma Vidya. It is the best. All the wise people seek it. Please teach me. Guru Maharaj says, Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga, Adavaihi. Avaihi means you learn. Remember this basic principle of life. Nothing can be taught. You have to learn. But this process of learning is suspended. We do the same mistake again and again, again and again. See? And then we blame God. See? Oh God, why this happened to me? Why this happened to me? People come and ask us also, Swamiji, I have done so much of God. Who asked you to do it? God asked you. This is one basic principle, friends. If you adopt this principle, you have conquered death. The basic principle is learn from every experience of your life. Now see what happens. When we learn from every experience of our life, mind does not gather any impressions of likes and dislikes. If you learn. If you don't learn, then the mind will gather impressions of likes and dislikes. See? Take an example. In our childhood, sometime or the other, we have touched fire and our hand got burned. So even as a child, we have learned that the fire burns. And therefore, do we have hatred or love for the fire? No. Because we have learned. And therefore, with that wisdom, now we know how to deal with that fire, which is a source of destruction, or the same source of destruction is enslaved by us because we have learned from it. See, friends, in the same manner, if we inaugurate this principle of learning and the spiritual practice, we will be conquering death, called as pramad. Pramadam vai mrityur bravimi. Sanat Kumari says, this pramad is the real death. Now see how it kills us. Right from childhood, how many desires we have fulfilled? Bhagwan Shankaracharya says, Balastavat krida saktaha, tarunastavat taruni raktaha, vruddhastavat chinta saktaha, parame brahmani kopi na raktaha, bhaja govindam, bhaja govindam. And if we have taken this as a spiritual practice, we have to learn from our experience. I'll give you one homework for next 365 days. And I promise you, you will not do it. Because pramadam vai mrityur bravimi pramad. We have taken a vow not to learn. But try this. Take a nice, clean, beautiful copy and don't write thesis in that. Each day, write only one thing that you have learned. Only one thing per day. In the whole day, 24 hours, can't we learn one thing? See? And once this process of learning is inaugurated in your heart, you will be growing wise. Be attentive. What are the symptoms of a wise man? Gatasu na gatasunshcha nanu shochanti panditaha. Wise people are not miserable when somebody dies and also when somebody doesn't die. Otherwise people are miserable both the cases. When somebody dies they are miserable. Ye marta bhi nahi. Even there also they are miserable if somebody doesn't die. Wisdom expresses as wit and humor. Wit and humor can come, be attentive. If you don't carry any burden on yourself, unburden yourself, unload. See, friends, we are samsari first, then we become believers, 2, then we become seekers, 3. When our life is spent only in fulfilling the desires, we are a samsari. You know the definition of a samsari? One young boy like any one of them, happy, healthy, wonderful, no problem, free. But one day a virus goes in his head. What a life without a wife. And thereafter he catches hold of some sari and becomes a samsari. And thereafter there is no end to fulfill the desires. Now, when we are thus leading our life of a samsari, Bhagwan, out of great compassion for us, creates problems. This is the first chapter of Gita. Many people bypass the first chapter of Gita. What is there, these people came on the battlefield and then these people did, and then let's start from second chapter. If first chapter was useless, why it is introduced there? See? So the first chapter is Arjun Vishada Yogo Nam. Vishada is tragedy. See? You must have seen our Ramdev Baba, he gives hundreds of yogas. He never tells about the tragedy Yogo Nam. Tragedy also is a yoga in our life. If the direction of our life changes from dogwards to the Godwards, any difficulty which will change the course of our life is a blessing. Therefore, every one of us in our life, one day or the other, gets some kick somewhere, unexpected. That is only because we have not learned. Then we start going to the temples, going to satsang. See? One very innocent, sweet lady, very old, doesn't understand English. She used to come for my satsang. In India somewhere. I was talking there in English. So her grandchildren used to tease her. This has happened in Jaipur, Rajasthan. So they used to say, Dadima, you have gone for listening to Swamiji's English lecture. Since when you know English? He said, what Swamiji told, I have understood. Okay, tell what he told. She told in Hindi. Exactly what was the import of my talk. Be attentive. When you are absolutely at peace, your understanding is not through logic and reason. Your understanding is through intuition. Intuitive understanding is the real understanding. And for that, what is required is your mind is absolutely at peace. To bring that mind at peace, like if you have got a straight road, miles together, and no traffic, no nothing. So you start and slowly the dozing comes, and accidents happen. So what they do, they put one speed breaker in between. So you are going, and the speed breaker, oh, thank God. Immediately that stupor is gone. In the same manner, in our life, everything is going goody, and one speed breaker comes. That is the first chapter of Gita. Then we become alert. See, friends, therefore, When we are samsari, we are lost in this world and only desire fulfillment is the only thing, nothing beyond. Then we get some kicks here and there, then slowly we shift from a samsari to a believer. See, take an example to understand this point. If you are seeing a dream, and the dream is you are sitting on a huge, what is that? Harley Deadly or Deadly Harley? Somebody know? Harley? Okay, I always go Deadly Haverson. So you sit on that, and some of your girlfriend or borrowed friend, she is sitting behind you, and you are going in Switzerland, and beautiful. Such a dream will never break. But in the same dream, your motorcycle skids and goes deep into a valley. Oh, immediately your dream breaks. In the same manner, this waking dream will never break unless there is some accident somewhere. So this is a grace of the Lord. Enough of this world. Enough. You are all very successful in your life because during your school, college days, you have done very well. In the same manner, now during your this mid-age, unless you prepare for your old age, nobody can help you. We all have to live our life. We all have to die our death. We all have to do our own spiritual practice. Nobody can do it for us. And this we are unable to understand because we have never learned from our experiences of life. So what we have to learn? We have been living through so many years. Have we come to a station called as fulfillment? If we are not attained fulfillment, then again rethink. And the rethinking happens only when we go to satsanga. The highest spiritual practice is satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam, nischalatatve jivan mukti, bhaja govindam, bhaja govindam. Doing puja, poti, karma kanda, and this is all okay. But this is not everything. See, friends, there are stages there also we have to understand. Like, we do the puja, poti, go to the holy places, take the holy deep, everything. It's good, do it. This is upasana. Upasana is like when you are driving, like I was coming from Bethlehem, so we had our GPS. No, that driving was upasana. Upa means near, asana means bringing. So that GPS was bringing us to this house. After we have reached this house, that GPS is redundant. I don't require it. Exactly the same way. When we do this karma kanda, puja, poti, very good, do it. But what is the destination? Destination is you have now devotion, bhakti in your heart. Be attentive. When our heart is saturated with the divine love, the worldly problems become no meaning at all. See, friends, all your tensions, frustrations will dissolve. Many people have this funny notion that, see, I am such a great devotee, I do so many things, but why wrong things are happening to me? Because we have not learned. The upasana is done outside, but the effect is inside. And the inside effect is we discover self-confidence. We are dynamic. We are capable. All the positive potentialities, they become available to us. Many places devotion and devotee has got a very wrong notion. Devotee means what? Ajgar kare na chakari, panchi kare na kam, sabke dataram. That is not devotion. Work hard, be dynamic, succeed, and at the same time, you are at peace. With this way, when we grow spiritually, because we are learning now, then we come to the satsanga, and our arrival to satsanga is grace of God. It is said, Binu Hari Kripa mile nahi santa. It is not the karma phala. It is not that because I had done a good job, therefore I got satsanga. No. Satsanga is only divine grace. Karma phala is only two types, joy and sorrows. See friends, the more we become aware of this principle, that when we come to satsanga by God's grace, then the second thing happens. All our wrong notions are hammered. And the wrong notions are, first wrong notion is fear. And fear is about 6 things. With reference to body, the fear is old age and death. With reference to prana, the fear is hunger and thirst. The third fear is in the mind, delusion and grief. A person who is carrying the burden of these 6 fears, he is a samsari. Such people are all the time afraid. Not only afraid, but dying also. You must have read that story. When I was a child, I was dying to become a grown-up. When I was a grown-up one, I was dying to get married. When I got married, I was dying to have children. When I had children, I was dying to get them educated. When they got educated, I was dying to get them married. They got married, I was dying to get their children. They got their children, then I was dying to educate the grandchildren. And by then I became 65, 70. Then I realized I never lived. I was constantly dying. See friends, when we come to satsanga, everything changes. One man asked me one question. His wife was never coming for satsang. She was, page 3 type. And he was, very satsangi. So she used to always tease him. What do you get in satsang? Why do you go there? He used to keep quiet. Because he was a satsangi, he was keeping quiet. He asked me this question. Swamiji, my wife always asks me this question. What you get in satsang? Why you go? He said, I also don't know, but I like. But why I come here, that also I don't know. So please tell me. I said, it's a simple question, man. It's not difficult. In satsang only you are told you are divine. When you go outside, you are dumb, you are fool, you don't understand anything. So who doesn't like one's praise? Therefore, when we come to satsanga, oh, you are Satchidananda, Parabrahma, Paramatma. See, friends. Therefore, the more we become aware of this principle, then we have to keep learning. Don't forget this basic principle. So, we finish our samsara, we have come to a believer. Do your puja pothi, everything. But the effect of that should be seen inside, and inside effect is you are at peace, you are confident, you do your job perfectly well, and yet you are always relaxed and cheerful. There was one man who went to commit suicide somewhere on the Himalayan, mountains, and near a big cliff he went, and there one Babaji like me was sitting there. So he went there and did namaskar to Babaji. He said, Babaji, I have come to commit suicide, please bless me. So the Babaji said, why are you running after death? She will follow you. Do your job. Don't think of death. Nobody has ever died. We don't trust our own experience. See? Do we have the birth of our body? No. Somebody tells us that you are born such and such date, and we agree dumb. See, friends, once I happened to go to a maternity ward because of my friend, he had some argument with the nurse. His wife was delivering inside. And because of that, she said, you will come inside, I'll call police. Get out. So he phoned me, Swami, this is the thing, and please come and find out. This nurse is angry with me, I don't know why and all that. So I went there. I could talk to her language. So she said, you can come and see. I said, come on, I am not interested. That is his baby, let him see. He will not come inside, may what happen. So my friend, Swami, you go and see at least. So I went and saw, and everything was over. And what time, time of birth of the child, everything was told. I said, Mama, it's all over, okay? Now, for my general knowledge, I want to ask, because I am not going to come to this place again in my whole life. For my general knowledge, you tell me, you told this child was born at 12:48 night. Yes. I am not arguing, okay? Just general knowledge. There is not only one lady who was delivering, half a dozen or more than that. So how do you determine the exact time? Are you waiting there with the watch and how do you do that? And so precise, 11:48. He said, Swamiji, I'll tell you the truth. If we tell these people a round figure, this child is born at 12 o'clock, they will never agree. If we tell 12:01, then it is true. Neither the child knows when the child is born, nor the mother knows when the child is born, nor the nurse knows, nor the doctor knows, and yet my date of birth, happy birthday to you. See, friends. Second thing. None of us have the experience that we are growing. Nobody has that experience. It is the grace of the society. For the first time when a young girl is addressed, Auntie, please come and sit down, she gets the kick of her life. Don't call me Auntie, call me Didi. The second kick we get when somebody addresses us, Dadaji, baithiye. Dadaji, uncle. It's not their fault. Because nobody has this experience that we are growing. And the most important thing, nobody has the experience of death. And the ultimate, nobody can ever have the experience of absence. Then whose death? This is pramad. See, we have just taken for granted that I am born, I am growing, And how this mistake is repeated efficiently, be attentive. This is one spiritual practice I am telling you, try friends. It will definitely help you. That spiritual practice is, don't talk about your past. Past always belongs to your body, not to you. Body was born. You were never born. See, Bhagavad Gita says, Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhirastatra namuyati. Where the childhood body has gone, find out. Where the teenage body has gone. When the childhood has gone, do we mourn? No. When the teenage body has gone, do we cry? If it is not there, it is dead. Where it has gone? Exactly the same way, when the old body dies, nothing happens to nobody. Dhirastatra namuyati. Bhagavan says, after this body is dropped, nothing happens. You continue to be. It is for this purpose. In our scriptures, the law of karma is told. See, the law of karma is meant, now we'll go to the second stage of this topic. The law of karma is meant for bringing our attention to ourselves. Presently, we are all expert in blaming others for our miseries in life. See? If I am a husband, the cause of my misery is my wife. If I am a daughter-in-law, the cause of my misery is my mother-in-law. If I am a guru, the cause of my misery is my disciple. So what we do? If the cause is so and so, I want to improve the cause. Then his whole spiritual practice is what? Husband tries to improve and educate and teach the wife. Utter failure. It can never happen. Where Bhagwan Rama failed to teach Sita ji, will Jagjivan Rama feel successful? And then we complain. Maharaji, I don't know why I am suffering because of why she is like that. When somebody asked me this question, I said, hey, I'll reply you in two ways. One way, by which you will become more miserable. Second way, you will come out of the misery. Now which way you want? He said, I want to come out of the misery. I said, listen then. Husband is a common noun or a proper noun? He said, Swami, you are taking my education. I said, no, answer my question. Husband is a common noun. Common noun means what? It is common for everybody. So every husband is miserable. What is great about it? He said, really? I said, yes. He said, all right then. See, friends, how you think, how you take life. The second way is, in the last life, this will be, the reply given to you by the karma kandis. In the last life, you have done sin, you have tortured her, you have given her lot of trouble. And that time, to take the revenge, she was observing Karwa Chauth. And then not only this life, next 7 lives I will torture you. So she has come in this life also. No, but then what can I do? Now behave properly with her. Otherwise, next life again she is there. He starts behaving properly. He doesn't complain. Net result, his mind is at peace. Where your mind is at peace, then only you can think about God. See, friends, many people have got this funny notion that miseries makes you remember God. No, miseries will make you remember your miseries only. See, like many people have this funny notion that meditation for stress relief. It is something like one person with a fractured leg and a collar around his neck and a big magnetic belt. He wants to go to gym. Only a healthy person should go to gym. In the same manner, meditation is meant for healthy people. For unhealthy people, they should go to a psychiatrist. See, friends, meditation is not a correction method. No, you have to evolve. Therefore, when we are told this principle, last life's karma, this life's suffering, next life also will suffer. Now, what is the moral of the story? Moral of the story is you existed before this body was born. You are existing in this body. You will continue to exist when this body is dropped. Now tell me who died. So what happens after death? When you are alive, nothing has happened. What is going to happen after death? That teacher who asked me in that school, I said, now I'll answer your question. I said, first, what happens after death? I asked him, you are a Hindu or a Muslim? Or, of course, I am a Hindu. I said, we'll burn you. He said, no, not that way. I said, okay, second option. When you die, there will be a holiday for the school, but don't die on Sunday, okay? Not that way. What happens to the soul? See, friends, this soul principle, when you will understand clearly, you will be free from the fear of death. The topic of death is not meant for dying, is meant for living. See, friends, like the doctors are not here for making the people unhealthy, although they make. Doctors are supposed to cure the patients, but they maintain the patients, Unless they maintain the patient, they can't survive. The same way Babajis do. They maintain the level of ignorance in the people. And they tell, Dekho beta, if you do this thing, you will go to hell. And that beta is frightened. Oh God. One person asked, how many types of hells are there? I said, you have got 27 types of hell. Choose. See, friends. Now what is this? Death. It's only pramad. And how we can get out of this pramad, that is spiritual practice. Then Dhritarashtra asked the question, then what is told in our scripture that if somebody dies, he goes to the hell and there are so many types of hell. What about that? These are the questions which are answered by Sanat Kumarji. We'll take it in our next episode. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.